Good evening. It's the weekend edition of the news. Remember, every evening at 9 o'clock, we give you a lowdown of everything that's happened in the country for just 10 minutes without any debate, any opinion, or any fuss. This is our edition of the news for the 27th of February. Here is our first story. Now, while the second phase of the vaccination for senior citizens will begin on the 1st of March, the government has now announced what the charges could be. According to the Indian Express, private hospitals could charge up to 250 rupees per dose of the COVID vaccine. The Maharashtra Health Secretary, Dr. Pradeep Vyas, according to the Indian Express, has said the service charges were informed at a training and virtual meeting in the COVID 2.0 meeting. COVID is the app on which it's likely that people will have to register in order to get the vaccination. Dr. Vyas said it was intimated at the service that the service charge recovered at private hospitals acting as COVID vaccination centers would be subject to a ceiling of 100 rupees per dose per person. In addition, private hospitals will charge 150 rupees per dose as the cost of the vaccination. So the total amount recoverable by private hospitals will be 200 rupees per person per dose, end quote. Remember, it's likely, as the government has announced, from the 1st of March that senior citizens above the age of 60 and those above the age of 45 with comorbidities will be invited to be vaccinated, and they'll also be able to do so at private hospitals for a charge. Moving on, India has recorded some worrying numbers on COVID cases. 16,488 cases in the last 24 hours and 113 deaths were reported. The Odisha government mandated a 7-day home isolation for travellers from 12 high-risk states. This includes states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. Maharashtra, which is the epicenter of the recent surge of cases, on Friday recorded more than 8,000 new infections for the third consecutive day. Mumbai witnessed more than 1,000 new cases. Dharavi, which was a problem area in the first round when we saw COVID first hit India, witnessed a surge in cases with a total figure now standing at 4,066. 10 cases were reported yesterday. There are currently 51 active cases in Dharavi. The Election Commission has said that everyone on election duty for the upcoming assembly elections in Assam, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala and Puducherry will be vaccinated for COVID-19 before the polling day. It has started a nationwide vaccination drive that has made the situation more conducive, they say, for conducting elections. In news coming out of Lakshadweep, a draft of the Lakshadweep Animal Preservation Regulation of 2021 has proposed a blanket ban on selling or buying of beef or beef products. As per the draft, whoever violates the provision shall be punished with an imprisonment term that may extend up to 10 years, but no less than 7 years. A fine which may extend up to 5 lakh, but no less than 1 lakh rupees. The draft was placed in the public domain on the 25th of February, seeking comments. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, is gearing up for its first launch of the year as it prepares to send Brazilian satellite Amazonia 1 into space on Sunday. This is the first Brazilian satellite to be launched from India. The countdown for the launch of the PSLV C-51 Amazonia 1 mission began on Saturday at the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. This is the 53rd mission of the PSLV vehicle. The rocket will launch the primary satellite Amazonia 1 along with 18 co-passenger payloads. Karnataka Home Minister Basavaraj Bommai has said the Karnataka government is planning to approach the Supreme Court against Tamil Nadu's Kaveri Vellaru Vaigai Gundar river linking project. This comes after Tamil Nadu government laid the foundation for the 268-kilometer long river linking project, which aims to use surplus water over and above its share of 177 TMC feet released by Karnataka. In a worrying story for Mumbai, earlier this week, a vehicle with explosives was found near the residence of Mukesh Ambani. So far, the crime branch of the Mumbai police has recorded statements of 25 people in its probe. The police are now trying to track down the Innova in which the driver of this parked vehicle a Scorpio SUV was seen leaving. According to reports, there was a letter inside the SUV threatening Ambani. Reportedly, 58 Central Reserve Police Force commandos are now guarding the Ambanis around the clock. An update also on the Munawar Farooqi case. Nearly 2 months in custody, the two accused, Nalin Yadav and Sadakat Khan, in the Munawar Farooqi case have gotten temporary bail from the Madhya Pradesh High Court. Remember, they were the last of the 6 accused to be given bail. The High Court noted, and I quote, "The applicant is held entitled to temporary bail, maintaining parity in the light of the order on the 5th of February passed by the Supreme Court in petitions connected to the case." End quote. The other two accused, on February 12th, an MBA student from Indore and Mumbai's Edwin Antony, were granted bail as well. They were booked for hurting religious feelings and organizing an event without permission of the district administration. After Munawar's bail plea was rejected thrice, he moved to Supreme Court, which granted him bail on the 5th of February. Also, let's take a look at what's going on in the world of business and markets. The Indian rupee on Friday slipped 1 rupee and 4 paise to the dollar and is now trading at 73 rupees and 47 paise against the US dollar. This is the biggest drop since March last year over fears of rise of inflation, which may puncture economic revival globally. This comes after a sharp jump in US Treasury yields I was telling you about yesterday that sent a global shock to the markets around the world. Our Sensex also fell nearly 2,000 points. Also, for those of you who missed it, here is an update on the stock market. Indian investors lost 5.3 lakh crore rupees in the market yesterday, which fell to its biggest single day fall in 10 months. The Sensex was down 3.8% for the day. And it ended the day lower than 50,000, so it was 49,099. The last time it fell this much was the 4th of May last year. Also, Reuters has reported that Chinese smartphone maker Huawei is planning to manufacture electric vehicles under its own brand name. The company is in talks with several automakers to use their car plants to make electric vehicles, and it could launch some of its models this year. Moving on to international news right now. A UN report said global efforts to reduce CO2 emissions is nowhere close to the level of action that was needed to limit global warming under the 2015 Paris Agreement. The agreement had targeted a CO2 reduction of 45% from the 2010 levels by 2030. The report has found that the fall right now is 0.5%. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said the report is a red alert for our planet. Also, a US intelligence report has found that the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman approved the murder of senior journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. The report, according to the BBC, says the prince approved a plan to either capture or kill Khashoggi. The senior journalist had gone into a self-imposed exile in the US back in 2017. He was killed while visiting the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in Turkey. His body was carved up into many small pieces. Saudi Arabia has rejected the report, calling it negative, false, and unacceptable. In news from Africa, Nigerian authorities have revealed that gunmen have now kidnapped 317 girls from a boarding school. About 42 people, including 27 students, were kidnapped in the neighboring Kagara last week. Out of these, the gunmen have released 27 teenage boys, whereas the search for the 317 girls is still underway. This matters a great deal. These were the latest reports amidst a surge of school abductions across Nigeria, where kidnapping for ransom has become a lucrative industry. President Buhari said Nigeria is in a state of emergency amid struggles to recover the kidnapped children. Also, a quick look at the sports news. Indian sprinter Hima Das was inducted into the Assam Police Force today as Deputy Superintendent in the presence of the Chief Minister of Assam. She described the moment as a childhood dream. While addressing the gathering after her induction as DSP, the 21-year-old Hima revealed that she had dreamt of becoming a police officer from the time she was very young. The Asian Games silver medalist and world champion said that she will strive for excellence in her sport and her job at the state police. Also, a silver lining, but a very difficult silver lining coming in right now in our last piece of positive news. The 17-year-old girl who was among the 3 cousins who were poisoned in Uttar Pradesh is now on the 17th of February has recovered from in hospital and has been sent home. Unnao SP Kulkarni has said that she was discharged from the hospital around 2 p.m. and is being kept under observation in a special ward for 24 hours. The girl recorded her statement on Tuesday. To just remind you, 3 Dalit girls had left home on the 17th of February to bring in fodder for cattle. They were found unconscious in their agricultural field when they didn't return home. 2 of them were declared dead. The 3rd one was in hospital. This is the one who has now recovered. The police arrested Vijay Kumar, who confessed that he gave these 3 girls pesticide mixed with water because one of them rejected his advances and refused to give him her phone number. We're happy that this girl has now recovered and has come home, but the state of safety for women is still a massive concern in the state of Uttar Pradesh. That brings us to the end of news on this Saturday night. To have a good weekend, we will see you on Monday. Thanks for watching.